All right, everybody, so we've already gone over mean, median, and mode, so now it's time to review and check what we know about it. So mean, median, and mode are considered to be a measure of center of a data set, which can be defined as a typical value of the data set. So the reason why we would want to look at the measure of center of a data set is to make sure that we understand what the typical value of that data set is. So let's do a quick review on mean, median, and mode, which are all measures of center. So for mean is the average of a data set. Okay, so to find the mean, all we have to do is get the sum of data and divide it, which is why that line is right there, by the number of values. Okay, so remember, mean is just another way of saying average of a data set. And to find the mean, you just have to take the sum of the data, which means you add up all the numbers of the data and then divide it by the number of values. Now for median, a quick way to remember what median is, it means the middle value. And when I was younger, when I was first learning median, I kept getting mean and median confused. A quick way to remember what median is, if you look at the word median, it almost sounds like medium. Medium meaning it's not the highest, it's not the lowest, it's right in the middle. So median is the middle value of a data set. To find the median of a data set, all you need to do is first order numbers from least to greatest. Now this is something that you need to remember to do because a lot of you yesterday or the day before were not ordering your numbers from least to greatest. You were just going right in and you were just trying to find the middle number. And that's not the way to do it. You have to go through the least to greatest. You have to order the numbers from least to greatest first. Then, if it is an odd amount of numbers, you find the number in the middle. It's quick and easy if it's an odd amount. But if it is an even amount of numbers, the median is the mean, or as we remember, the average of the two numbers. Okay? So remember, if it's an odd amount of numbers, you need to find the number in the middle. If it is an even amount of numbers, the median is the mean of the two numbers. Okay? Now, for the mode is really easy. Sorry, my paper's kind of going crazy here. The mode is the value or values of a data set that occurs most often. Okay, so the mode is the value or values of a data set that occurs most often. So it's the easiest one because all you have to check is to see if whatever number occurs the most. And of course, like we reviewed, as we said the other day, mode can be, you can have one mode, you can have more than one mode, or you can have no mode at all in a data set. There can be a data set that has no repeated numbers. Okay, so all you're doing for mode is just looking for the repeated numbers. Okay, now let's move on to the back. And remember, if at any time you need to rewind this or if you need to pause it, feel free to do that. That's the beauty of having the video notes, so that you can stop or you can rewind it at any time to check your answers or to check what I wrote, or if you just need to hear it one more time. Okay? All right, so let's go do an example. So it says here, the frequency table below shows sneaker prices at a local store. So these are the sneaker prices, and these are the amount of sneakers for each price. Okay, so if you notice that most of them have one sneaker that is at that price, but one of them has two. Okay, good thing to do whenever you're looking at a data table is to just review it and see what do you notice about that data table. What do you notice about the numbers? What do you see is repeated the most, or anything like that? Anything that you see that's different or maybe the same, you might want to check that. Okay, so we need to find the mean, median, and mode of the sneaker prices. So to find the mean, again, when we're going through mean, we have to just find, it's another way of saying we just got to find the average. Okay, so we need to find the sum. So we got to add all of our numbers together. So $122, $31, $48, $37, plus 20, and plus 20 again. And now some of you might be thinking, why am I adding 20 twice? Well, if you check the table, there are 2 shoes that cost $20. So I have to put 20 twice, okay? Then you add 45 and add 65. So we're adding all of those numbers together, and then we have to divide it by whatever amount of numbers are in this data set. So let's count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 numbers in this data set. So we have to divide it by 8. Okay, so when you add all of these numbers together, we'll get, so try adding it on your own first. So pause this video and try adding it on your own and then see what number you get. Okay. If you got 388, that's the correct answer. And we have to still divide it by 8 because remember, we're getting the average. Oh, I left the line right here actually. So you could put 388 divided by 8. And if we simplify that, we will get, so if you do all the division for that, so pause this video again, see if you can do the division for that. Okay, now if you got 48.5 or 40 and 50, because we're dealing with money here, so I just added the 0 there. If that's what you got, that is the correct answer. Okay, so for median, now remember the first step in trying to find the median for a data set, you need to put all the numbers from least to greatest. I cannot stress that enough. You need to put the numbers from least to greatest in before you can try to find the middle number of that data set. Okay, so if we're looking at our numbers up here, the first one we're going to put is 20. And remember, we have to put 20 twice because there's 2 shoes that cost $20. Okay, the next one would be 31, 37, 45, 48, 65, and 122. Okay, so I ordered my numbers from least to greatest, 122 being the greatest, 20 being the least. Okay, so now we need to figure out what's the number in the middle. So I kept doing this yesterday. I kept going outside in. So I just counted from the outside in. Or if it's easier for you, you can cross it out from the outside in. So I'll cross it out so you can see it. So cross out 1 on each side. So that's the same thing. Cross out these 2. Okay, then I cross out these 2. And we're left with 2 numbers because this is an even amount of numbers. There's 8 numbers here. So when we have an even amount of numbers, we need to take the 2 middle numbers and we got to find the mean. Now to find the mean, we just have to add the 2 numbers together and then divide it by 2. Some of you were asking, is it always going to be 2? Yeah, it's always going to be 2 when you're trying to find the median. You're usually going to be only working with the number 2 because you usually have 2 numbers in the middle and you're trying to find the average, so you just have to divide it by the amount of numbers there, which is 2. Okay, so 37 plus 45 divided by 2, so try to pause this video and see if you can do that on your own first. Okay, 37 plus 45 is 82 divided by 2, and that will equal out to 41. So that's our median. 41 is our median. Now our mode, this is the easiest one. You just got to find the numbers that are that occur the most often in the data set. So if we look at our table, out of all these prices, which price occurs the most often? The only one there that is done twice is $20. So our mode is 20. Okay? So what I now need you to do, at the bottom of your paper, you're going to see a try this. Okay, so the frequency table shows the amount of injured players in the Little League football team that have been injured for each match this year. So the table shows the number of injured players and the number of matches for each of the injured players. Find the mean, median, and mode of the number of injured players. So what you're going to do is you're going to solve this. You're going to do this on your own. Okay, so pause the video, do this on your own, and I'll be walking around and stamping and checking to see who has finished this and to see who's done it correctly. Now, if I tell you that you have not done it correctly, then you're going to have to go through the video, rewind it, and see what you might have done incorrectly. Maybe you need to review something in this video, whether it's the mean, the median, or the mode. All right?